Well, the first camera I got, I think I was like about 10 or so, or maybe 11. My dad, he was a carpenter and an aluminium shop fitter. He was doing a job in Phoenix Plaza, and it was just before Christmas. And there was a little pink, like compact camera that was there, and I asked him for it. And he got it for me for that Christmas, and he got me some film, and then I went away to my mom's family in Port Elizabeth, very excited. But he told me, no matter what, make sure that you don't, expose the film in the back. And I was like, okay. So, wondering whether I'd gotten pictures or not, I would go into my cousin's room and then just switch on the bedside lamp and think, let me open this thing up at the back to check if I made any pictures. And, I'd look and I was like, oh, I don't see anything. And when I went back to Durban or came back home, I told my dad, and he's like, no, you can't open it up. When I said don't let light get in, don't let it get in. I was like, oh, okay. So it wasn't an auspicious start.
So,
um, yeah.
so you damaged the spool, did you?
Yeah, I'd ruined it because I kept on opening up the back, thinking, oh, this is a dark-ish room.
So
It should
lesson
be
number
fine.
one.
Yeah, so don't open the back of the camera. That's
Right.
lesson number one.
Not that we have those type of cameras nowadays, right? I mean, it's all digital, most of it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there are films making a comeback, and there's some people that still work only with film. There's a street photographer that I know in Joburg, Madota, Ngobeni, and he works documenting the inner city, the CBD, purely on film. So yeah, it depends.
Okay, so that pink camera got you into
A bit of trouble.
yeah, a bit of trouble, but it started you on a journey.
Yeah, and then unfortunately, my dad passed away just 2 years later, when I was 13, and there was no opportunities for photography at school, but I liked art. Though, with Indian communities, wanting to carry on with art was not a very popular idea in the house. So instead of doing art in standard 8 and standard 9 in matric, I was doing accounting instead, and my family did want me to do accounting.
Right. Did you want to do accounting?
No,
Right.
certainly not. I actually also wanted to be a musician. So I thought, look, I mean, I've never learned how to read music or anything like that, so I can't go in and study music, and I am very passionate about. I've always, yeah, my mom actually taught me to read before I went to school, so I was always able to read and write well. I had that in the bag, and I do like doing it sometimes, but it's not my passion. And I thought, okay, I'm gonna just try this as best I can, and I applied for a Bachelor of Journalism degree at Rhodes, and I got in. Yeah.
And the rest is history, really. But a lot of hard work along the way, right? I mean, it doesn't come easy.
No, certainly not. It's actually very difficult, and I think now, ironically, even with Instagram and mobile phones and digital cameras and lower overheads in terms of like film processing and all the rest of that, I'd say it's harder to make a career as a photographer now than it ever was before.
So, speaking from experience, what advice do you have to parents and families who have young kids who are about to make subject choices in high school? If the child wants to do art, and the parents are forcing them to head down the commerce or accounting route, what advice would you have for parents?
I think that art has a very important role in society, and that it's the mirror, where we can look back at ourselves and what we're doing and where we are and who we are as a people. So it's great to have the financial stability. I mean, I get it, right? Of being a lawyer or an accountant or a doctor. And obviously we'll never run out of the need for doctors, or lawyers, but maybe accountants. Um, but you know, society needs this, and yeah, I would say, encourage your child, but at the same time, make sure that the practical things are taken care of. So if you want to do this, plan it, and maybe have your parents help you plan it.